guys, happy Monday. So this week we're going to be talking about some of our favorite quotes. Now, I'm not really a big fan of famous quotes because they get used so often that they start to lose their meaning, and they just become that poster in your school hallway that you don't even look at anymore because it's just there and you don't even notice it. And they become kind of cliche and lose their meaning and that specialness, is that even a word? That makes them, something that would be truly inspiring and have an impact on someone's life to the point where they would change it or do something differently. And I don't think that they still have the same meaning, like, be the change you want to see in the world. It's truly an inspiring phrase or saying, but it's not quite the same power anymore because it's just overused. But what I do like about quotes is that they have the ability to just formulate into a concise sentence or two just a thought-provoking idea that will make you want to reflect on it and change your life. And sometimes they're worded so beautifully that, there's nothing you could do to change that sentence to make it any more perfect. And as a writer, that's something I really like about quotes. And that, one day when I write something, I want to be quoted in that way. So, they're inspiring to me as a writer, but also as a person who wants to improve in their life. So I have two quotes today. The first is from Cicero, who I love because, this quote was originally in Latin. He was a Roman leader. And I take Latin and I love Latin, so I couldn't find the Latin translation for this, and I wasn't going to translate it. But the English is, I criticize by creation, not by finding fault. And I think that's something that we all should do, because instead of just sitting back and pointing fingers and complaining and finding blame, that we should, do something and find a solution, create something that will make a change in what we find fault in. And that's something I touched on last week with the Occupy Wall Street movement, but not going there again. I just think that's something that we should all do and think about, because I find quite often I'll just sit back and complain and say, oh, this is so annoying, I hate it, they're doing this all wrong, but I don't always step forward and say, well, we can fix this by doing such and such a thing. And I think that is a big problem that we should really work on as, human beings and people, just, to make the world a better place. So yeah, the second quote I have is from John Green, who that I love as a writer and a person, and so I just really love this quote from him. It is from Looking for Alaska, and it's, I don't want to have to wait until I die to start seeking a great perhaps. And that's actually taken from, it's John Green's take, or in the book, on a quote from, I don't remember off the top of my head, but someone who, as their last words were, I'm going to seek a great perhaps. And that quote in itself, I think, is really beautiful because, we think of dying as a scary thing that no one wants to do, but, something we all have to do, and it's inevitable. But the fact that this person is viewing it as like this quest, this second part to their being, is something that's really, beautiful and inspiring, and, something that might, lessen the fear of death that people have, and that this person is going into death with such a, like, great spirit that, they're willing to take on this next challenge of their life, or I guess not their life, their death. But John Green's take on that, going to find our great perhaps before we die, I think that's also something really inspiring to me, because quite often I will just sit back and not do anything because I'm lazy, because I'm a procrastinator, and not even with big things, but like little things, like I won't want to go out on a Friday night or do homework, and I think that's something that I should work on, and that, go to seek this great perhaps, go do things and be active and just do things, to have opportunities, so many in my life, and I should make the most of every single one and find my great perhaps in something that is, inspiring and wonderful that I just love to do. And even if it's just one single moment, to have that moment is just something so fulfilling in my life. And so that's something I do think about a lot, that to make the most of all the opportunities I have and to find my great perhaps. So yeah, both these quotes I have on the bulletin board by my desk so I can look at them often and reflect on them and work on making them part of my life. So I hope that you will take these quotes and maybe reflect on them and make them part of your life. And I can't wait to see or to hear what your quotes are and to see your videos. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye! In other news, happy belated Mole Day, which was Sunday. I don't know if you can see it's a mole. Yay! Bye!